welcome back to the Why So Series podcast. I'm your host, Brandon, and we have Devin, Sharmane, and Stephanie, and we are here to finally attend the funeral of the Fox X-Men and bury Dark Phoenix into the grave. Uh, Jean Grey begins to develop incredible powers that corrupt and turn her into a Dark Phoenix. Now the X-Men will have to decide if the life of a team member is worth more than all of humanity. Directed by Simon Kinberg, the person who wrote X-Men Last Stand. Starring James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, etc., etc. So let's start with Stephanie. Stephanie, what did you think about this film?
Fuck Fox. Fuck them. I never wanted to walk out of a movie so quick, and if somebody else hadn't bought my ticket, I'd have fucking left.
I saw it for free, and still I stayed it. I did it for Brandon.
It's like, Lord, I'm like, I think I said audibly, what the hell is going on in that movie theater at least 3 times. And I was trying to be quiet.
I was getting so frustrated. I'm laughing out loud. I'm saying, what's going on?
What is this?
She's tapping me, like, telling me to shut up so I don't interrupt other people because none of it made sense.
None of it.
Sharmane, what about you? What'd you think?
There was a few moments when I was shake laughing, like trying to be silent when everybody else wouldn't. I guess, I don't know if people were enjoying it. I don't know. But there was... Why can't they get this right?
See? Why?
Like,
because they don't love us.
Different from...
I stopped doing the thing like an idiot, so we broke up a little bit, but we're back. So, Sharmane, please finish your point if you remember it, because I know it was something good and terrible.
She ended on blah.
Did you hear me talk about the mayonnaise review, or...
No, I didn't hear anything. I just heard you say, I have to, and then I stopped doing it.
So I gave my spoiler-filled review on Twitter, on Facebook, and to Blurred Vision and text message forum, and it basically was the mayonnaise gif of the mayonnaise bottle with the googly eyes, and then someone squishes it and it just throws up mayonnaise. That was my spoiler-filled review. It was just mayonnaise. Like, there was nothing good about it. It was just blah.
Yeah. I agree.
And,
Devin?
Like, my husband will find something positive and shit, and he just turned around and he was like shrugging his shoulders, like, I mean,
well, I mean, at least in your let me tell you, my theater. How about this? The movie ended, and people just kind of looked at each other like, "So should we leave?" I mean, they just got up and left. It wasn't even like people like, if it's opening weekend, a lot of people applaud. Nobody applauded.
No one applauded.
They just got up and they just looked at each other like, oh.
I was so
there
happy.
was only a handful of people that stayed to the end. So I stayed to the end no matter what the movie is, because I grew up that way. It's respecting the people who made the entertainment for me. It's a part of the whole experience. Plus, I want to see who's on the soundtrack and locations. Every now and then I'll see someone I know's name on there, and I'm like, oh, look, and take a picture of the screen. So no matter the movie, I stayed till the end of the credits. My husband's trained. I even almost have Blurred Vision trained on it. When we go, I'm going to stay. I could have gotten up. There wasn't anything at the end of the credits anyway.
You could have gotten up 15 minutes into the damn movie.
What we talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah. I agree. It was... So, I mean, I'm almost about I'm going to say these words, Brandon. The Last Stand was better.
Yes.
Oh,
it was way better. It was way better than this.
Apocalypse was infinitely better than this.
Like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
It won with that, yeah. But like, this was literally 3 movies they threw together and was like, oh shit, it's a bad movie. And then they tried to like end it mid-movie, and like it didn't make any sense.
Because they reshot the third act a month and a half ago.
They reshot the entire third act.
They really kept the first.
It was going to end in space again, and they decided, no, we're going to stick it on a train. And at first I was like, well, how are they going to make sense of this? And okay, lacing it into like concentration camps and kind of dealing with what we're dealing with on the border. And I'm like, okay, I see what the thought was.
Nope.
But where was the execution?
Man, I saw them with dog collars, and I said, "Bitch, no."
Oh,
So, okay, I have huge problem with that fucking dog collar thing
I
because
was
you
like, "What the fuck is going on
kind
here?"
of collar negates everybody's mutation. One kind of collar.
It would have to. I mean, I guess.
Well, actually,
your
it didn't
X-Gene.
because Nightcrawler was still blue.
See, don't make no
Nightcrawler was
sense.
Still blue. The Beast, he was still blue, right? But he just wasn't.
No, he went back to being white man.
Oh, he did go back to
went back
white
to
guy,
white
but
face.
he was
Also
strong.
talk about him because I'm very confused. I was to blue and then white and then blue and white whenever he want, like he Mystique. What the fuck is going on? I was like, what is going on?
Because they made
What
it
is
up.
going on?
That Kelsey Grammer touched, his hand for the first time and was like, "Oh my!"
Exactly. See, bullshit. This is why I need to come back.
I need to know why Beast and Mystique have to put on their white face when they're supposed to be around their family.
Yeah.
And when do you ever to do this, especially Mystique? I get that like Beast probably still has emotional issues with like not being a white dude or whatever, but like Mystique, her whole deal was why hide who I am,
right?
And that the only time she's manifesting another body is when she's manifesting
somebody else,
not this white bitch she's decided to be whenever she's frustrated.
I just get so angry. I don't like Jennifer. Whatever. I don't like Jennifer. I just don't like her.
Oh, she was trash in this film.
Just fucking awful.
She took that check and ran. She's like, just give me my money.
She phoned that shit in.
She was clocked out. Yeah.
It's like, oh, did this check clear?
And then she gave you should call us the ex-women because we're always saving.
And that shit made me so mad, but I was like,
I giggled on that one.
Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh hell no, we're not doing this. Wait a minute, I would rather see that scene in Avengers with all the women, which I like, by the way. I'm like, see, if y'all don't call out this scene, y'all just hate women, okay?
Let me tell you when I wanted to walk out of this movie. I know the exact spot when I was ready to walk out. I audibly said, you got to be fucking kidding me. I said it just like that. They are at this fucking party outside. And first they use Storm as an ice machine to make ice for people's cups. Yeah. Okay, that pissed me off. But then
she's not Iceman.
Yeah, why didn't you go to Iceman?
Storm. How about that?
Yeah, why didn't you just go to Bobby? Oh, because Bobby's nowhere to be found. Okay. And then they fucking bring the Dazzler on the fucking movie screen, who's one of the most popular mutants, out of nowhere for a nothing scene. She was on the fucking screen for 17 seconds. Gone. Nothing. Just didn't explain anything.
I can't wait to play that arcade game. Yeah, I can't wait.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You remember when they were outside and they were partying, and then they had that white girl who was singing, and the snow was moving around, the lights were moving around her.
Yeah.
So that's the Dazzler. The Dazzler is a mutant who can really sing. She's like a music star, but
almost like a siren.
But she can control like sound, and she can control lights. And so she does.
She was on the first Marvel X-Men video game.
The movie. Game. It becomes a music video.
I was
with a campfire.
20
it's just like
years.
Jubilee, right? It's like, hey, everybody loves this mutant. We're gonna put her in the movie, and everybody's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's put her in the movie.
With Jubilee, I'm like, when
the same thing with her because
it's gonna happen? What is going on?
All we see for the Dazzler is just a music video. We didn't see her do anything. Like, what's the point of having all these fucking mutants if they're not also part? Like, we have 6 X-Men.
Good evening, everybody.
Mike's here.
I am here. I am sorry. I got held up at.
Don't be sorry. Just jump in and tell us how trash Dark Phoenix was.
I was debating on what my opening line was going to be. I went with "Good evening." It was originally on the whole ride home. I was set on just coming in randomly and being like, "This movie was so bad."
So bad. How
bad was it?
I honestly think I enjoyed, and this is saying a lot, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
What?
Michael B. Jordan's
Oh.
fantastic. Fan-tastic.
This was worse than the Fantastic Four.
It was.
That
I'm
movie was
telling you,
mostly just boring.
This movie, yeah. This movie, I honestly, I liked the Sam Raimi movies better than this movie. I like most superhero movies. I would go so
Most
far
modern
as to say
superhero movies, because it's
that Green Lantern was better than this movie.
no.
Oh, it absolutely was.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely is.
Oh, Brandon, come on,
yes,
don't
it
be a
is.
hater.
Hell, yes, it is.
I mean, I would have to agree with everyone else. It's better.
And you
Green
know
Lantern is
what?
better than this.
The world agrees. Like they didn't act. It doesn't seem like with the other like with Apocalypse. See, I like Days of Future Past actually, but Apocalypse was bad. I agree with that.
It was terrible.
But some people
so like that
Apocalypse.
That's one of those movies where some people, like a lot of people, didn't think it was bad, but it was. This movie, I'm seeing an overwhelmingly negative response from the audience.
Well, part of this is people are finally coming to my side, and the side of they've always been treating the X-Men like shit. And so this is just the culmination of all of that. I have a question for Sharmane and Devin. So I watched, and we watched, well, Sharmane, Stephanie, and I, and Mike, we rewatched some of these old movies. And I remember in X-Men Apocalypse, which takes place 8 years before this film. I remember at the end of the film, Jean Grey exploded, and you saw the Phoenix Force in a fight against Apocalypse.
Right.
And so,
which is what we complained about last time we all were together.
I have a question. Why did the Phoenix Force enter her in space if she already had it 8 years earlier?
I'm trying to say, like, what are they saying? Are they saying that she has the Phoenix inside of her, but the thing she got in space was a different force? Is that what they were saying?
It doesn't count. It was horrible. It was bad.
Because even in Apocalypse, she does the Phoenix scream too. Like it's not like she just burst into the shape of the Phoenix. She also did the scream. And then I see an article the other day that said, "Oh, fans are all excited that we finally get to see the Phoenix scream." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like we saw it last movie
underwater. Yeah, like oh, Stephanie, when the flames turn into the Phoenix, that's what we're talking about.
And I knew what you were talking about. I'm talking about what that article was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we heard her do this. We saw her do it in the previous movie. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, we saw it in the, like, Last Stand or X2 or some shit like that. Like, we fucking saw it in the very last movie. And now they're going to try to convince us that now she got the Phoenix. And then also, she's just flying around as a Phoenix now. Like,
look. It's like
she can fly now. It's like when did she start flying?
Those people just wanted to see Sansa get her win, and everybody saw Sansa get her win, and she just kept having little fire eyes, and people. That's the only thing people showed up for. They were like,
"No, I mean at the very end, the last scene when you see
she turns
Charles...
into the that happens. That happened. But they tried to do it in this artistic way, like, oh, she's still flying over you, keeping the eye.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one notices that there's a fucking flying phoenix in the sky.
Of course not.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a world where everybody knows that there's mutant powers and there's other shit and whatever, blah blah blah. But seeing a phoenix, a fire phoenix, flying around the skies of Paris, you might see a couple people point.
I agree.
I have a question for Stephanie now.
Oh, Jesus.
What did you think about Miss Alexandra Shipp's accent in this film?
Let me tell you something. That was literally going to be my question, because I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is she? Where is she from? Europea? Where is she from?
That's a European
I was sitting here like, what the hell? Why does she sound like that? Where is she supposed to be from? I am yelling because I am mad. Where is she supposed to be from? Like, I'm like, where are you from? Go back to your country.
Also,
whatever made up country you're from, because you're not from Africa, god damn it.
Also, according to this film, her only weather controlling powers is to shoot lightning out of her hands like
Emperor. She drives me fucking weather.
She should have been extra strong, right? Because even Apocalypse imbibes her with additional strength, right? So that stayed, right? It didn't go away when
you let them tell it. I am mad.
Mike, I got.
Because
Go ahead, Sharmane.
I was gonna say the reason why I'm curious about that is because Magneto is still, stronger than he was before. Like he can still move Earth, which seemed to be something that he didn't quite get until either Apocalypse woke it up inside of him or Apocalypse imbibed him with
Just
this
another
additional
problem.
power. So I assume that if Magneto still has it, that the fucking Black Girl probably still has those extra powers.
She's too busy trying to perfect her accent that we don't know what the fuck it is.
Mike, I have a question for you. Cause I have questions for everyone.
Yes.
My question to you, Mike, is if you have a member of your team and a friend of yours who can control the weather, why would you sit in a funeral in the rain? And then, even if she didn't feel like changing the weather for the rain because she wanted it to be some type of mood of sadness, why does the weather witch who controls the weather need an umbrella in the rain?
You said that.
Did they miss that part where Halle Berry was actually controlling the fucking weather when it was cloudy and raining, and they said storm? She's like, oh,
Yo,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was
I
emotional.
like Halle Berry better than the new one, I think.
Oh
No,
wow.
That's because Alexandra Shipp sucks. She is terrible, and this is what happened when you do not get a storm that actually is the color that she's supposed to be.
Wait, what? I didn't know about that. Wait, what? Can you explain that to me?
So first of all, Storm is not supposed to be that light.
Okay.
Right.
She is supposed to be a darker skinned woman.
Yeah,
'cause she
Storm is either going to be, it should either be like brown skin or dark skin.
Right.
Not light color skin. She's from Egypt. I mean, she's from, okay, so.
No, in this one, it looks like she's from Egypt, which was weird.
Exactly.
Well, she is from Egypt, but
She's
she's
of
from
Ethiopian.
I thought she was from like Central Africa in like the jungle.
See, I always thought she was from Ethiopia.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. I'm gonna
It
look it
says
up.
she's from Egypt. Her origin is from Egypt.
Oh crap! I typed in storm and it brought me to a weather page.
technically she grew up in Harlem, but you know
Right.
they never
Yeah, I'm
bring
talking
that
about where
shit up.
where her lineage is from.
They never bring that shit up in these fucking films.
Right.
Wait a minute. So are they? Well, maybe one of these days they'll explain the Black Panther part.
Kenya.
Oh, Brandon doesn't
uh,
want
Here's-
that to
here's-
happen.
here's-
Brandon
In Uncanny
doesn't-
X-Men number 102.
Oh yeah, she's from Kenya. Yeah.
December 1976. Someone, I think the writer, establishes that Storm's backstory. Her mother, Nadare, was the princess. I might have pronounced that wrong, so I'm sorry. Was a princess of a tribe in Kenya and descended from a long line of African witch priestesses with white hair, blue eyes, and a natural gift for sorcery.
Yeah,
Nadare
she's
falls
from
in love
Kenya.
with the
Then
man.
they moved to
So-
Cairo, and then they lived in Harlem for a while.
See, I think
Kenyan.
they did that
It's-
in the
it's-
cartoon.
I think that is in Central. I gotta.
Yeah, because in the cartoon you definitely see her go home at some point. For some reason, that's been stuck in my head as Ethiopia. But
Well, why'd they make her? So is she Egyptian or was she just in Egypt?
Oh no,
she was
she's
just
Egyptian.
in-
She's Egyptian.
in
this film.
Egypt.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
Egyptian.
yeah, in
the
the film. But also, she's not though, because Egyptians are Arabs, not black.
Yeah, Well, in I feel like in North Africa you get a lot of both, but
You do
She
get a lot
was
of both.
born in New
specifically
York City,
in Egypt
by the way.
now.
She was born in New York City,
New York
which
City.
they never talk about in these films because they don't give a fuck. They don't care about these characters. They don't even care enough to look at Wikipedia.
well,
Much less read the books.
I don't think that she was born in New York City
She
in this
was
movie.
born in New
Well,
York.
that's actually
Not in the
that's
movie,
how I
though.
No,
felt,
not in the
Brandon.
movies.
No, I'm sure.
in the movie, I had looked as the credits were rolling. I looked over a tree and I was like, it's like they haven't even read a single book that included Dark Phoenix, but also as we sat in it a little bit, I go, you know what? It feels like they've never read a single X-Men book.
No, not a single one. They know the X-Men from just like pop culture. Like, oh, there's Storm, and then there's like Cyclops, he shoots shit out his eyes, and then there's the bald man professor, and we're gonna do this movie. By the way, James McAvoy he's really good. But
Good.
when I
yeah.
watch him in this film, I just keep thinking about Split.
Yeah.
Cause I got you.
That's
yeah.
all I think about. With his bald hair, I'm just like, this is the dude from Split. And by the way, I love Split, but I'm trying not to think about it. Okay, so
You
let's
know
talk
what's
about.
hilarious is that his X-Men bald head to me looks so unnatural, but his split bald head
Look
looked
real,
like
yeah.
that's what he looks like.
Mhm.
I don't know why I cannot make maybe because it is a bald thing, but yeah, it was funny to me. I don't know.
So can we talk about how they made Charles Xavier the villain, the real villain?
Yeah, the real villain, definitely. All
Fight
them
the
trash
real
ass
enemy.
mistakes.
I mean, given that I started dipping into old Uncanny X-Men, I'm like, oh.
Well, yeah, Charles is a dick, but the way they made him the dick in the movie was Charles Xavier fell in love with the fame. By the way, here's the basic understanding of the X-Men, right? The X-Men are a group of heroes who protect the world of people who don't like them. They don't want them. They protect the world that people don't want them in. And then in this film, they come off a plane, and there's thousands of people waiting and cheering for the X-Men.
Right.
Never.
When
never
has that
in
ever happened?
life.
And
Never.
the X-Men have groups of people that support them, right? Like, it's not like there's
And
no
they don't
humans.
openly do that shit either. Like,
Yeah, it's not like there's no humans that don't support mutants, but like the amount of humans that are pro mutant is not the majority. Not to the point where they would mass produce X-Men action figures.
X-Men doll.
And
X-Men doll.
No.
Nigga.
they
What
have
are you
Captain
doing?
American dolls and Captain Marvel dolls and Iron Man dolls, but the X-Men aren't getting dolls. The X-Men, they want to eviscerate them off the face of the earth. A lot of people.
Right.
Like this idea that in that part of him getting close to the president, like that could happen, but it's not like
An X-phone, nigga.
he had
What?
a bad phone.
a bat phone. That nigga had a bat phone.
And they had an X-phone. I said, nigga,
Yeah,
what is
X-phone.
going on? What the hell is going on here? I'm like,
Mr. President, don't do this. What?
Wait a
Get the
minute.
fuck out.
y'all are playing in our faces. Like, y'all really think we stupid.
So I have another question for Devin and Sharmane. So if I may be mistaken, so correct me if I'm wrong, but X-Men First Class took place in 1963.
60, yeah. Mm-hmm.
1963. Okay.
Mm.
X-Men Days of Future Past took place in 1973.
Mhm.
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse took place in 1983, and this took
I
place
know where you're
in
going with this.
1993.
Mhm.
So that means, and so Magneto, his backstory is that he was in Auschwitz, which was in the
Right.
40s, right?
All right.
So that
Correct.
would make him in his late 20s in X-Men First Class, which would make him in his 60s
Yeah.
in this film, right?
Which made more sense that it was Ian McKellen back in the
Yes.
original movie.
Yes.
That makes more sense. So, what can you please tell me, the both of you, what happened to Charles Xavier and Magneto between 1993 and the year 2000?
I
Oh,
got an answer for this. So, as an Asian, as a quarter Asian, I can tell you that Asians don't raisin until they get hella old, and then suddenly they become old. Up until then, young as shit. I think
doesn't
that
work.
the
I was-
mutants.
Ain't none of them honkies Asian. What we
Oh,
doing?
shit.
Listen, I'm
She
not
done-
done.
she dusted
I'm
it
not
off.
done. I got it all worked out. I'm-
Like, let's talk about the Asian part. They're not Asian. This is not Keanu Reeves. You notice that man
He got-
don't age.
He
He's
got
54
speaking.
years old, and
He's
I'm
still-
ready to
he's
climb
still-
that tall ass tree.
Oh,
What?
okay.
You must have something special. Asian, black don't crack. Asian don't
No,
crack
It's,
kind
it's
of.
No, they
simply that
don't.
he's the
And then-
Highlander.
He can
No, they
go
don't.
old, and then it just fails, and so suddenly they become old.
see, nope, no, you're not gonna spread this bullshit. Nope,
Oh,
like
I'm
no,
just
See, it's very simple. All they have
just
to do,
1,000 times no.
all they have to do is say, part of the mutant X gene is that they don't age at the same rate as humans. Like, it is a
That's it.
very simple line that they could have just
Yeah.
put in any of these films, any of them,
Nope.
and that would have
You know
explained
what else they could have put in here? Michael Fassbender's big dick.
But
oh,
Hey,
oh,
actually-
oh.
Brandon, I got a question for you.
Devin, you missed that episode.
You really did.
We
Yeah,
had. I'm
it's
surprised the
the
name of that
Lakers on the
episode
cast.
wasn't Michael Fassbender's dick.
If it was a regular show, it would have been.
It was brought up very
Many,
times.
many times.
Because
Many,
he's
many times.
literally the best part of X-Men First Class. Michael Fassbender and his big dick.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Just-
Brandon, I got a question for you though.
Okay.
So if this fucking timeline
Oh,
is supposed to be somehow together,
Mhm.
Devin's reactions.
fucking
everybody's so angry.
they finally see that the Dark Phoenix has her whatever, she got her mutant and everything is going on, whatever. Then how is it that 6 years later they don't know?
Oh, you mean, you know, oh, I got another question. I got another answer for that. You mean like how in X-Men Last Stand they show that Magneto and Charles Xavier went together to pick up Jean from their daddy's
Yeah.
house?
Right.
With their mama?
With
their
the
mama
mama's
there?
With Mama
alive.
very much alive.
Alive.
I thought I was the only one. I was like,
No.
wait a minute, weren't both parents alive when Jean was older?
And
Can
her daddy,
someone please
was the
tell us
biggest.
that Days of Future Past broke the timeline, and
Okay,
so
so
now
Stephanie
all of
tagged
that
me on
shit-
some stupid ass article that tried to explain this. They tried to explain the X-Men timeline, and it basically said that at the end of Days of Future Past, it splintered the timeline, right? Okay, even if you go with that logic,
The timeline killed her mama. Y'all are playing in our faces.
even if you go with that logic, what about Beast? Why does
What
Beast look like
about
he's
Beast?
Why does Beast look like he's 30 years old? 30 years later. Why?
And white definitely cracks. So we've been through 40 years of these people. They should show 40 years of age.
In this new timeline, if Mystique is such a benevolent leader of the X-Men, in this new timeline, why did she send Wolverine to the Weapon X program when she was
Yes,
when
but
she
he
was
fucking
Stryker?
explained that. That bothered me last time.
And now we're supposed to believe Mystique is this leader. And by the way, then the fucking nerve of this fucking movie to try to make me feel like some sort of emotional connection between Hank and Raven
And Mystique,
that
yeah.
has never
know.
been explored
Never.
at any point in these other fucking movies.
No, it was. They flirted in First Class, but
They
then
did.
she was turned off because he wanted to look white, and he was using her genes to like help him. Her genes are how he made that serum that allows him to look white. So they had an emotional connection, and they're about to get down once, and then he said that to her, and she's like, "I don't want to be like that," and then that cooled everything off for them.
Uh-huh.
And then that triggered him to go full on. Let me go find Magneto. Speaking of Magneto,
Oh.
so
On the island of misfit mutants.
not Genosha, not Genosha.
Yeah, that shit bothered me.
So you have not Genosha. And by the way, why would the government just give?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
A reservation
Yeah.
now.
All
Why
the
would
times
they give?
they put him in jail? All the times they built special prisons to keep him away
Yes.
from metal, and they're just gonna be like, "Yeah, here, you did one good thing at the end of a fucking the other movie, so let's go ahead and give you an island."
Yeah, they didn't
No,
give Professor X an island. They gave Magneto an island.
And also, not a single other mutant on the Misfit Island of
And
Mutants
it's
was
Genosha.
someone we knew.
No, it wasn't Genosha. Don't fucking put that lie on the
That's
fucking
what it
podcast.
says.
When at the Misfit
That's
Are
what
you
Island,
serious? It's supposed to be
Mike, pick it
Genosha?
up.
Yeah, I just checked because they didn't actually say it. I don't think, but I looked it up and it was Genosha. They refer to it specifically in the thing as Genosha.
They never
That-
said
never
Genosha
said
once in the
Genosha.
goddamn
It is
movie.
Not
going
one.
to
That's what it
be
says
Island
here.
of
Go to
Misfit.
their Wikipedia page.
Fuck
Let me
that.
see.
That oh my-
It's I'm looking at it right now because I wanted to confirm. If you go to Dark Phoenix Wikipedia, I'll read it right now. Hold on, let me go find it again.
I don't give
Can
a
we
fuck,
all
Mike,
agree
because it's
here on the
bullshit.
show that it is the Island of Misfit?
Here he goes. Let me see.
I
Where
have
is it?
another question. Why does Magneto need to physically dodge metal
Here.
coming at him?
Jean travels to the mutant refugee island of Genosha to seek assistance from Eric Lentry.
That's not a fucking island.
It was an island.
Did
We
it
only
really
saw
shoot it
part
like
of
an
the
island? Right. They didn't shoot it like an island, so I'm
And
not
they're
gonna say it's
living
an
on the
island.
island like fucking Lord of the Rings.
I'm saying.
And Magneto's
What is
dodging.
it? Just that they're. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Is it that they just are using like ocean trash that washes up to make these huts and shit like that? When you got Magneto who can literally like drag shit, fly shit with him to the island so they could actually have like real architecture and shit.
He can lift all the metal from the earth, but he can't take metal to build nice
to build some
houses.
fucking. He rebuilt. Him and Jean rebuilt the mansion at the end of the last movie just by waving their fucking hands at it and shit. Also, can we? I know I brought this up last time. I'm sorry to be repeating myself, but can we talk about why they need to use their hands to wield their powers?
Well, there's that too.
We also talk about that on the cover of the movie. Jean is shown wearing, like, they're split down the middle wearing 2 suits, and none of them are her actual suit. One of them is like this red trench coaty thing, and then the other one is like the
wearing that red trench coat at the end.
That's not her suit, though. I'm talking about like the one with the logo.
Please don't get started on the suits. Especially when the last scene we've seen in Apocalypse is them in their fucking suits, which was one of the only good things they've ever done in the history of these X-Men movies, where I finally thought, they're giving them their comic book suits. Cyclops had his suit. Nightcrawler had his suit. They all had their fucking suits. No, Jean had her suit in that picture.
Jean had her suit. Yeah, she had her
with
suit.
the Firebird on it.
No.
Well,
No, she
no,
didn't
because
have the Phoenix
remember,
suit.
she wasn't supposed to be the Phoenix yet.
Yeah, she didn't have her Phoenix suit. She had her Jean Grey suit on. And then they gave her these fucking Party City suits in these fucking movies.
I know. Were they not just the dullest fucking things in the world? Like, you gonna tell me they're even the little flight suits they had from the previous movie was better than this? Whatever.
Yeah, my man Scott's fucking little button he pushed on the side that shit started pissing me off, and I started seeing it. Like it looked like a fixture price.
Yeah, why they didn't? I'm looking at these. Why didn't they wear these?
Yeah, it's a great.
They
question.
had them somewhere.
Yeah, it's a great
already.
fucking question. Devin, I have a question for you. Why on the island when Jean was trying to take over the helicopter? Why did they tell all the soldiers to get back in said helicopter that she was taking over?
And so he can fling it.
Yeah, so he can fling it.
Seriously, let's get into this fucking
I'm trying
thing
to
with
give you a head start before she kills you. Like, oh my god, we're having this mental fight with her non-magnetic powers, and and she's preventing me.
Scissors with their powers.
Yeah, and like she's preventing me from using my magnetic powers to throw something in the air.
I don't know what the hell is going on with that. That is a duck.
It didn't make sense.
Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are y'all doing? Make up y'all. Have we gotten to the alien part yet?
I was just about to ask you that.
Go, Steph.
Far when we haven't even gotten.
So first of all, but most of all, if y'all watch the goddamn cartoon from the 90s, the Phoenix Saga makes more sense.
Way more sense.
The Shi'ar Empire.
More sense. It's more stuff. It's more stuff in space. It makes Jessica Chastain's character makes so much more sense. However, her character should be a whole different character. I'm like, I feel like there's somebody else that should be here, but they're not here. But you're making her an alien, and y'all didn't really explain it.
And they came with a whole
it was like, it's like, who the hell are these aliens that want to come take over? First it was, we just trying to live. Then it's like, fuck y'all planet. Then it turned into, fuck you. I'm like, what the heck?
Let's not forget they had the ominous black guy.
This
Remember?
like this weird, weird random. I'm like, y'all aliens, and y'all only made one black guy.
And also, like, that's our introduction to them. Is like, what's that nigga doing staring at the president? And then cut to other shit, and then we wait for a whole nother half an hour until he pops up again.
And he's trying to an alien. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. What are y'all doing? And then
three movies.
Not explained. First, it's like she can move matter, and she did something to somebody's stomach, and then she can, I don't know, walk through walls. They can dodge bullets. I'm like, what the fuck? Can y'all?
They hide in the woods.
All of a sudden, it went from like 1 to like 25, and y'all just killing all the people to take over their skin. And I'm like, but you can make your own skin, so now I'm confused. I don't understand what's going on here.
And did she get, like, did the unnamed alien
her name was Vuk.
Vuk?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. UK, Vuk.
All right. So Vuk, did she get like some of the Phoenix power and then, but not all of it? And so that's why she needed to keep going. But then Jane was so much stronger than her this little mere human that she was able to be like, no, I'm gonna suck the rest of the shit out of you, or no, I'm gonna put all it in so it hurts you. What the fuck was happening in that tug of war?
So confused. I was sitting here like, wait a minute. If she sucked most of it out, how did she explode you?
But oh shit.
Like,
The Phoenix,
how were you
the Phoenix
exploding?
Force wants Gene though. It wants Gene, so that's why it's there.
They just
It
said it
prefers
was a
Gene.
life force that will make planets. I'm like, wait, what? Because I feel it destroyed our planet, and you want it because you want to blow up the. I'm so confused because
The logic. Don't
blowing
even get,
up.
yeah.
It was like you showed the thing blowing up your planet, and you're like, we want this to make a new planet, but didn't it blow up? I'm confused. Wouldn't you like want it to stay in Gene because you don't want the power that blows up planets? Like, what? Wait a minute. What? Yeah, make up your mind. And then it's like, we have this house, and now let me show you our world. I'm like, wait, I thought you could just move matter on people's stomachs. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
why we have to go to a bedroom to be able to check this shit out?
I'm like, what? You could have just did this on the street. I didn't need to come all the way upstairs to this like planetarium room. What is going on? What am I watching?
Can somebody explain to me the powers of these aliens?
They could give you stomach aches, and they could turn any room into a planetarium, and they like can hold you and suck out powers. I don't understand. Why didn't you just do that?
Their powers were pretty non-distinctive, and they changed pretty much on a whim. And there was no way to tell who was more powerful than what, and they had all different levels of power with no explanation to why one is more powerful than the other. So, like in the last fight in the fucking train, some of them were just getting like hit once and dying, and then the other ones were just taking 8,000 bullets and just keep walking, and they didn't really explain either.
But then they had certain different guns.
And the big guns like put holes in them. Like, but I thought y'all could not wait. So what kind of bullets they got? They got the alien bullets? What kind of bullets y'all have? What is this? I was like, what the hell
this
is
is
going
what bothers me about that whole them not explaining how the collars work, because it seems like also those bullets were meant to be special mutant bullets, and they're just grinding through the aliens, so they're like, it's not working on the aliens, they must not be mutants. I don't understand how those collars or those bullets should be able to affect all of the mutants at all. Every mutation is different.
That's just a comic book thing. It's like a power dampening thing. Like they're usually either collars or like wrist locks.
It bothers me every time though.
So it's just like a comic book trope where somebody figured out how to dampen all powers. And with the mutants, at least it makes more sense because mutant powers are tied to a gene.
Yeah.
And so you could make the scientific this movie didn't do it, but in the comic books they make the argument that they've done research on the mutant X gene, and based on the mutant X gene, they've developed this thing to limit the powers, because every mutant that has powers, it comes from the mutant X gene. So even though their powers are different, it all comes from the same gene. Whereas it's more ridiculous with like the powered people in the general universe, because like the Hulk's power is not the same power as Thor's power, which is not the same power as Spider-Man's power. Like they all of them have powers from different fucking sources. And so you just take one chain, you put one thing on them, and it all dampens all of them, makes less sense.
But it feels like if it's meant to negate the powers, then like you said, okay, so Beast turns into a white guy, but Nightcrawler stays blue.
Yes.
Juggernaut in Deadpool, he was dampened somehow, but he stayed in his weird big old shape. Like nobody changes back except for one guy.
The Juggernaut's not a mutant, which pisses me off even more, because his powers are from magic, not mutant. It's like a magical
I didn't know
thing.
that.
Yeah, it's like
it's like a magical amulet.
Yeah, it's like a magical amulet that he got that gave him his powers. He has like
that has missed me.
Yeah, the Juggernaut has mystic powers. He just hangs around because he's Xavier's half brother.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. Like that's never come up except for in Deadpool.
Well, because they don't care.
Ridiculous.
Mike, what was your favorite scene in this film?
I don't have a favorite scene.
Oh damn!
Oh,
If Michael can't say nothing nice,
See,
it's a
every
terrible
X-Men film as bad as they've been.
Actually, I have a favorite scene. The credits rolling.
Yeah, that's
Dang, Mike came out to talk trash today.
I'm ready. I'm already frustrated because of my long day at the office.
So every X-Men movie has at least had a scene that I'm like, this is really good acting. Like even in Apocalypse, the scene in the fucking forest with McAvoy and his family was really good.
Really
It was
good.
really good acting. You felt the emotion on his face. Like he was really
One eye
acting it up.
tear.
In this film, everyone phoned it in. No one put in a. I heard somebody saying Sophie Turner did a good job, and I'm like,
I heard
No.
that too.
What movie were they watching?
I'm like, I mean, she didn't
She
do
looked like
a
Sansa.
terrible
She
job.
was literally Sansa Stark the whole movie, and
That's
I was
what
like,
I'm saying. She can
trash.
only side eye.
She
Like that's
wasn't-
her only talent.
Yeah, she wasn't Jennifer Lawrence bad, but that doesn't mean she was good. She just wasn't bad. But like Nicholas Hoult, they tried to do that emotional thing where he's like, "I'm ready to kill her." Like she killed the lover of my life, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't
Trash.
believe
Cyclops.
that at
Did-
all.
Oh God.
Like I really don't believe
He
that."
had more emotion as a emotionless zombie in Warm. What was that called? Warm Hearts or some shit like that.
Also, this film had a $200 million budget almost, and I have
Oh, yeah,
no
they're
idea
not
what they
big
spent
back.
it on.
Reshooting
I mean,
that last act.
Sophie Turner's, like, yo, why is the Phoenix trying to crack through her face the whole time and never does? Like, shit bothers me.
Because it's an alien and it's trying, excuse me, this thing has destroyed a whole planet. You don't think it's trying to destroy one white girl?
But why didn't they succeed? They said what?
Because she's so
time ago.
special.
She's so powerful and she can contain it, but not really. I don't know what's happening to me. Bitch.
Also, like,
Bitch.
teenage angst is the thing that somehow
Teenage,
is
like-
able to contain this.
I want to know how old she's supposed to fucking be. Because I'm like,
17.
No,
Fuck
she's
this.
supposed to be in her late 20s.
20s, yeah.
that's what I thought. I'm like, wow. I'm
Not
like,
her late 20s because she was just.
It has to be though.
Yeah, because she was like 16 or 17 in Apocalypse.
She was.
She would have had to been, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did they not pay attention to that time gap?
Because they don't give a shit.
They
Oh
don't
my
give a
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Part of the big reason that you care about the emotional scenes of the Phoenix is the relationship between Scott and Jean.
What
they have
relationship?
never gotten the Scott and Jean relationship in any of these films with either actor.
None of these, yeah.
Especially, but
They're always
even
like,
more
why
so
you like
these
that
two.
whiny bitch?
I didn't see no fucking. What we saw.
What
We saw 5
relationship?
minutes of
I'm sorry.
relationship in Apocalypse. Here's the thing. They just wanted us to assume a lot of shit that they didn't show us on screen. Like,
Right.
At the end of Apocalypse, there was no Jean and Scott are madly in love. And then
Correct.
you come into this and Jean and Scott are madly in love.
Madly in love. It's like, wait, what just happened here?
Storm was just
Because-
rolling with Apocalypse. Now she's like everything on that team. But they don't show
Because she loves Mystique.
Yeah, when did we see that?
in
Oh yeah, we
Apocalypse.
did see that in Apocalypse. She did love Mystique in Apocalypse. That's true. She looked up to Mystique as like.
But
her
what we
hero.
don't see is, I guess, if this is really 10 years, we don't see 10 years of her becoming closer to Xavier, so much so that when she's like, fuck this, I'm going out, and he's like, no, it's so important. You need to be here. And, all that. When that happened, you're like, the last time we saw
So-
her, she turncoated. So now she's one of the most important people.
Oh,
Okay.
and can we talk about how there's some random black woman telepath who's somehow equal to the power of Charles Xavier that he's never
Right?
felt before in the
Yeah.
history of
Right?
his life?
That's why I'm calling it the Island of
With no
Misfit.
name, by the way.
No name.
She has no name. She's just black woman telepath.
Is that what she's credited as?
No, I don't even know where
Oh.
she's at in this film.
I
And then they
was gonna
had
say.
random dude swinging his hair over and over.
Oh, that shit made me like, what? Is he Whiplash? Like, who's he trying to be? Like, what is going
Well,
on?
so there's a character in Japanese folklore that's kind of like that, and so I was thinking that they were trying to bite off of that. But
No, they
I don't
not.
know.
No, they not. You will stop this. You will stop it.
Oh, I
Stop.
found
I'm
her.
trying
Her
to
name-
figure out where
now.
they
Her
were
name
getting
is-
shit
This
from.
is stupid. We are adults. Cut the crap.
It's not like I'm trying to give this thing a win. I'm trying to make it make sense for me.
Right now.
Okay, so apparently she's supposed to be Celine from the Hellfire Club, which I don't remember them saying her name at any point in this film.
They did.
She's the Black Queen. So you know how Emma's the White Queen? Queen. She's the Black Queen. I know who that character is. I had no idea this is who that character was supposed to be.
She even look like her? No.
No, not at all. None.
So what? They give her like a leather tank top, and we're supposed to make that connection?
I guess they don't care. They could care less. And by the way, since this movie, I've been palate cleansing myself by watching X-Men the animated series, and it's so much
Dude, so good. Oh my God, the way they do the Phoenix Saga is beautiful.
I haven't even got to that, but I just watched Days of Future Past, and it's so much better.
Oh, because they did Cable right. That's what I mean. If you do Cable, it's awesome. Cable and Bishop, like, God, so good. Oh.
Yeah, this film. So before we get out of here, I'll ask you two things.
We gave this movie way too much time and energy. I just want to let everybody know
is
that.
there anything redeeming about this film? And then two, your score, starting with Devin.
Nothing redeemable. Glad it's over. Score is gonna be 0. I saw it for free, and I regretted every moment of it. And I did it for you, Brandon.
All right,
Sharmane. Some of the visual effects were beautifully done.
Which ones were those?
The visual ones.
Like the visual one. Like the Phoenix explosion and stuff looked pretty cool. Like there was some talent in the CGI there.
Okay.
I'll give that. Story, plot, whatever, no. Acting, no. Sense, no. So I'm gonna
Length, no, it's too long. God damn, for no reason.
It's so blah. Because I thought the fire looked kind of cool, I'll give it a 2.
Good for you.
Mike.
My redeemable thing is that Disney has purchased these characters and will use them soon. No, I mean, I always like McAvoy's performances. He's pretty good. I actually also don't mind. Quicksilver. What's his actor's name?
Something with the E. Peters.
Evan Peters. I actually don't mind him as much either. I think he's funny and cool.
They removed him.
Well, for some reason they benched him and they gave him a little bit more screen time in Apocalypse, which didn't matter because that movie was just, I mean, whatever. I know Brandon doesn't like these scenes. I always liked his old scenes from the movies where he's running, they have those I always like both. I've liked both of those, even the one in Apocalypse. I think they're funny. I think the one in Apocalypse was ridiculous, but I like the way
it was cool though.
It was cool to watch though. But like in First Class, not First Class, Days of Future Past, they totally used him and then was like, all right, bye, we don't need you anymore, even though.
Have they not also dealt with him being the son of Magneto?
They never talked
about that. He didn't want to tell him.
Yeah, but it's been 10 years. It didn't come up.
Yeah, also, I feel like this was a plot point that was designed to be explored later. And I guess it's just not.
They don't care. So what's your score, Mike?
3. All
right, Stephanie.
Good.
Wow.
3 out of what?
10.
Oh.
20.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were going 10.
Oh.
Stephanie, what about you?
The most redeeming thing about this movie is that it ended. I'm sorry. No, that's not right. Michael Fassbender, me seeing him in his red-headed glory.
Yeah, they
looked
dye his hair.
Extremely. Yeah. I love scruffy Magneto, so I was very happy for that. My score out of how are we? We're going out of 10. 0.25.
Oh, great. I applaud that one. That's a great score right there. Brandon, bring it home.
I did enjoy the cinematography of the film, of the scene with Magneto and all the guns. I thought that was a cool thing to do because it's been done a lot in the comic books, and they actually kind of did it kind of cool, where he got all the guns pointing one way, standing behind him. It was cool. It was supposed to be one of those moments where you like cheer, but nobody cheered because the movie was so shit. So it's like, yeah, you got this cool thing, but he's killing who? There was no Shi'ar. It wasn't in space. They changed it from being in space. There was no Gladiator or any of the people in the Shi'ar fighters. There was
Empire,
no Empire. There was no. They thought about doing the scrolls. They changed that because of Captain Marvel. There was no Iceman. There was no. You got to see no really cool fights. The fight scene outside of the fucking building wasn't really that cool at all. Yeah, this movie was shitty, but I'm glad it's over. I actually hope that Disney doesn't do an X-Men movie anytime soon, but I do hope
Please
they
don't.
do an X-Men television show.
animated series. Yeah.
No.
Oh my god. Oh, it's
Television show, live action.
Live action.
Because
Oh yeah, they got the money. They got the money.
the X-Men stories is much better told on television. You can get really into the depths of how the people hate them. And if you watch The Gifted, you can tell. And The Gifted didn't have the budget nearly that a Disney-backed show would have. So give me and they didn't want to go full X-Men. But I think they were trying to get there. But if you give me a full-on X-Men television series and give them 5 years like they gave Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to tell their story,
Bruh.
I think that would be probably the best thing that we've ever seen. And it's given
Yo.
that this film gets a 1.75 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Mainly because
dig it.
I'm not going to... They didn't have horrible actors, even though everybody phoned it in. It wasn't like I couldn't just look at the screen because everybody was so bad. So I can't give it a 0 because of that. But I can't give it anything more than that because, they hate us. And they hate people like me who love the X-Men. All right, so before we get out of here, Stephanie, what's going on with you and Mocha Minutes coming up?
So I just dropped the episode with Al and Yaze from We Come From Bad News. And my guest for next week, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to drop the episode before or after Father's Day, it actually is my brother. So my brother was
cool,
my
cool.
Father's Day episode
Aw.
feature. Yeah.
Y'all talking about football? Y'all talking about football?
We
getting ready for football?
we talked about bad actors. We talked about and the bad part about it is he's a Raiders fan, and the news about Hard Knocks came out today.
Yeah.
So we would have talked about it. We also talked
There's
about
no
how
Raiders, but the Oakland Raiders. I mean, but the LA Raiders. I'm sorry, I said Oakland by accident.
girl. Anyway, he's like, girl, I'm not a
from
Raiders
LA.
fan. I don't care. I don't. I
Y'all
don't care
got,
what-
y'all got
they moving to
87 teams out
Nevada,
there.
so Las
Yeah.
Vegas Raiders in
No,
like next
how
year.
weird.
So
That's gonna be
oh
weird.
well. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about bad actors. We talked about that a lot. Yeah, and also Linda Fairstein is the inspiration for Law and Order SVU, and that's
Yeah,
one of his
so-
favorite shows.
That's gonna mess up some folks.
It don't mess me up. I still watching. I'm like, I don't care.
Sharmane, what do you got going on the Main Hustle Media?
On all of Main Hustle Media. This week on Militantly Mix, I drop a Ask Mixed Girl Main episode. I had some questions from the audience. So that dropped on Tuesday. Today, Black Radical Queer, she took a break this week. And Blurred Comics, we spoke to the creative director behind Soul Sister Comedy and the sketch comedy group that is all Black women called their sketch comedy show is Afro Girl and Beweeva. It's about naturalistas versus weaved haired women, and they're doing a Juneteenth thing here in LA at the UCB Theater. So we're gonna go to that. But we spoke to Marian Yusufu from the creative director of Soul Sister Comedy,
Nice.
and that's this week.
So me and Old Man Wade just finally did another show in comic book history, so that'll be
About goddamn time.
yeah, it's been a long time. So we just
love
did
that
another show. Me and Stephanie and Lauren from the Two Woke Girls, and maybe Gabby and Devin
Yes.
are going to start reviewing season 2 of Pose whenever
Pose.
So I'm halfway through season 1. I'll probably finish in the next day or two. And I really like that show. So I can't wait to talk about season 2.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
let me tell you something. Those balls look like so much fun.
Yo,
Hmm.
I feel like I just ain't had the juice, yo. I ain't got the juice to do that, yo.
I mean, I'm
had the
not gonna
juice, man.
dance because I'm not doing the Soul Train line thing. But I'm not that. That's not my bag. But I would definitely go and watch because that shit look like a good ass fucking time.
The
You
energy
wouldn't
in
do
there
a
is electric.
soul train line? Never.
No, I'm not. I'm not a dancer.
Mm.
That's not my gimmick. That's Devin's gimmick.
Look, no, it ain't.
So yes, we're gonna review Pose, which I'm excited about, and my wife may even come on for an episode.
Yay!
Maybe I mean, she wants to, so
Yay!
we'll do that. Other than that, and then we're gonna have our weekly show come out sometime today. I mean, we're gonna record it after this, so it'll come out sometime soon too. So check all those things out. Go subscribe to the Mocha Minute. Subscribe to all the shows on Main Hustle Media, and subscribe to Old Man Wade Show with me, the Comic Book History 101 podcast. And thank you for listening to our Dark Phoenix review. Be glad that these movies are done with Fox,
Dun, dun, dun.
and we no longer have to see the X-Men being wasted. So that is a good thing coming out of this movie. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.